I'm just so proud of myself. I woke up on my own, no alarm. I even turned the alarm off before it went off. Anyway, I woke up just before 8. Right now it is currently 8:07, and I think that's 2-3 days in a row where I woke up on my own. I don't maybe 2. Well, just in a long time. I'm just not a morning person anymore, but I'm trying to go back to my old ways because I prefer that lifestyle. Anyway, I'm just treating myself. I woke up, but I'm also back in bed, and I warmed up my blanket. But of course, I'm just gonna work on my laptop. I'll be showing you these things. I'm just gonna put my Vlogmas vlog together, get that up. Then I'll have the rest of the day for the graduation festivities and fun and things and stuff. And I just can't believe that today's the day. It's crazy. It's getting pretty snowy out there. The dudes off to that side of our house, they're doing some construction. Feel kind of bad for them. But I just imagine myself in cap and gown, slipping and sliding in the snow on the way to and from everywhere we go today. That's okay. But yeah, I don't know, at this point I'm feeling more excited than nervous. Anxiety is a very strange thing. You're excited about the things that make you nervous, but I think it'll be a good thing, and today will be a really good day. And so I'm just gonna get this vlog put together, and then morning routine, get ready, do the graduation vlog and things, and yeah, so we'll see. Can you guys believe what day it is today? This day. To really get in the spirit of being a grad today, and I can never pronounce her first name, Tanya Gonzalez. I love this video. I've gone back to this ever since she posted it every now and again for like motivation and inspiration, and she's just such a cute, girly, sweet person, and yeah, I just find this really fun to watch, and so I'll do that in honor of this special day today, just for fun. In the spirit of graduation for this fine, peachy fine and dandy day, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna get so sick and tired of myself for treating myself like all day today, but I have to. I have survived school, and school has been hell. And so I'm just gonna document me eating this piece of, what's it called again? Lindor chocolate, whatever. Each little bite of this type of chocolate just gets better than the previous. I'm gonna creep just for a second. We got one. That neighbor just put his away. My dad will probably join them. Lots more snow today. Taxi ready? Are we stalling? Is it cold? Ice cold, freezing cold, not warm. Now, this is very rambly, long-winded, but you know me, that's just me being me. So please feel free to hear me out, hear the rambles, all the things and stuff. You can grab a snack. Anyway, let's begin. I did it, and so many times I thought I wouldn't be able to. Social anxiety and depression, school stress, senioritis. So many times I told myself, half joking yet half serious, that it was time to just drop out. But yet here I am, all in cap and gown, well, almost, all done with school. Alright, and so here it is, a graduate's journal entry. First, to start, I'll just say, wow, I did it. I did it. I did it. I'm so grateful for you guys. A big shout out and thank you to you guys. My parents have been my cheerleaders. My brother Dakota has been my counselor, therapist, person, friend. My family members have been so supportive. My friends and loved ones have been so amazing. The staff I was able to work with has been a blessing, so thank you. Thank you for being in my life, and thank you for being there for me. I adore each of you and can't say enough how much I appreciate your friendship and support and love and kindness and encouragement. Without it, I wouldn't have had the day of December 15th, 2022 as the day it was. I worked hard both academically and financially and am graduating debt-free. I was no A+ student. I barely passed those math classes, totally not kid-friendly math content, by the way. But I always did my best work, and I usually got A and B grades. I learned that all I can do is my best, and that's enough. I don't have to be perfect, and I have the right to not be perfect. Through my dad's job, I received scholarship, which allowed me to save my money for my future, even outside of school as well. Tuition at BYU Idaho is at a lower cost compared to other schools, many schools, which helped me to save more. My parents let me live at home without having to pay rent, which was another big help. I'm grateful that my finances aren't as stressful as they could have been. So, I graduated, but it didn't happen the way I had planned, and as a planner, it does bother me a bit. I decided to graduate and walk before student teaching, and student teaching isn't something that I'm choosing to go forth with anymore. After a lot of thought and prayer, I know I am not to go forward into student teaching, thus no teaching certificate. I'm graduating with a different major. I changed from elementary education to professional studies. I technically have a double minor in elementary education as well as English education. I did everything there was to do for a minor in English education, and I did all courses and practicums required for a major in elementary education. Aside from student teaching, thus my major became professional studies as of my last semester this fall of 2022. September was a big month for me with a lot of changes in my personal life, school life, and career path. I can't see myself as a full-time classroom teacher anymore. I haven't been able to imagine it these past several months now. I feel that it's not a wise fit with my anxiety and fatigue. I don't know if I have chronic fatigue, and I know that a teacher is tired just about 24/7 anyway, but I don't know how I can handle the burnout a teacher receives year after year. Any teacher is exhausted at the end of the school week, let alone the school day. But being as introverted as I am and having the social anxiety I have, I feel like I would very much be among the group of teachers who quit after their first year. Probably, odds are. I love to work with kids and I will still do so. As of December 1st, when I got the job, I have a job lined up starting in the new year. I'll work with a sweet kindergartner student as his para ed. I'm going to try to find another job as well, hoping for something online, something else in education in addition to go along with my para ed job. I don't know much about my future other than this particular plan, getting this para ed job. It's uncomfortable and kind of scary, but yet I feel free in the not knowing of everything. Reevaluating my career choice hasn't been fun or easy, but it's necessary, and I can't do something that will result in more stress. I don't regret my schooling. I have learned a lot from it, and I learned that dreams change, and that's perfectly okay. I'm a dreamer and a perfectionist, and I have found that the two are in constant war. But I'm learning that dreams aren't perfect, and neither am I, and both myself and my dreams are allowed to change. I'm allowed to let them, both my dreams and especially myself. This year was a year of questioning. I questioned my choice in major so many times that you can't count that high. I've always wanted to teach and inspire and help grow young minds, but I'm going about that differently. I'm going to use my degree. I'm going to enjoy a life in education and in English. I'm going to teach people, and I'm going to write more books. I'm going to inspire lives through who I am as a person, as Emily K. McAllister. I'm going to inspire lives through my words in real life and in my books as author M.K. McAllister. They say that life during college is a time to really find yourself. But honestly and truly, I haven't felt as lost as I have since I have neared graduation. I was always so confused when people would graduate in something and not do something in that something, aka use their degree directly and exactly, basically. So I was confused, that is, up until I realized that I am now one of those people, technically. I went into college with the planned outcome that I was going to be a teacher, a traditional classroom one, till I was old and gray, but now things are a question mark, a big one. When you graduate from college, isn't that when you kind of have the answers? You have some idea of what you are doing and some idea of who you are, right? Well, here I am, braver and a bit more confident, yet scared. Scared of tomorrow, scared of the future. It's a mixture of excitement and nervousness for what is to come. But I believe in a bright hope. There is a new sun waiting for me, and it's pretty beautiful. I look back on the people I met in class and at church and through friends. I've met some really beautiful and amazing humans here at BYUI. But the biggest thank you to Breezy, Emily Ann, Michaela, Xana, and Chuchi. I love you guys. Thanks for being you. Living at home while attending college was a unique but good experience, though one which really affected my social life. I'm a socially anxious person, and I'm probably the most introverted introvert there ever was or could possibly be, but I can somehow make friends. Somehow. And I'm glad, so glad and grateful that I became friends with you guys. I met other beautiful and amazing people here at school, but you five really stand out and are my best college friends. So thank you. Thank you for the laughs and the talks, the long and deep talks, as well as the light and hilarious ones. You guys will never know how much you impacted my life for good. I look back and I see flashbacks of good times amongst the hard days. My first practicum at an elementary school, my mentor teacher was of a serious personality. She laughed and she had fun, but she was very direct in her style. I'm glad that she was my first mentor teacher and I liked her. I just didn't like that I didn't get much time to teach. She ran her classroom and it was very much just that, her classroom. On my last day of practicum in her class that semester, she cried. Not because it was my last day. I'm not offended. I hate when other people cry. But because she was having a hard day, and she was sad that her students weren't kind to her. The other day, I saw a vulnerable and very honest teacher in a sweet experience. I saw that the kids were sorry because they made their teacher, someone who loved them and cared about them, very sad. I needed to see that. It was somehow inspiring to see in a blue mood kind of way. Then later on another day, I went back to the same school to visit and the class swarmed me with hugs. I almost cried and I almost fell over. It was a really great group of kids. I'll always treasure those pictures we took the day that I went back there to see them. My middle school English practicum. My mentor teacher was very experienced in the field of education and I learned so much from her in just a short period of time. I really appreciated her humor and friendship. She was fun to talk to and there was a lot of laughter every single day. She had the funniest sense of humor and she understood mine. She was serious and stern with her students, yet there was a class culture where she knew her students well and she could laugh along with them. This practicum was out of my comfort zone, not because of the content necessarily, I adore English, but because of the age group. 8th grade kids are not elementary kids. My mentor teacher helped me to grow my confidence. I was such a beginner and I was pretty shy at first, but I left more confident than when I went in. She was a teacher who taught me to teach with confidence and just simply be myself. My second elementary practicum. My mentor teacher was a first-year teacher. I didn't know until she told me and my co-teaching partner, Emily Ann, later in the semester she was that great as a teacher. Real, raw, serious about her job, and passionate in her goals. I later asked her if she wanted to be present at my portfolio presentation this past July. She really talked me up to my chair during the presentation, which was such an honor coming from her. Such a sweet person, and shout out to my co-teaching partner, Emily Ann. Hi. If it weren't for this practicum, we probably would never have met or had that much fun at practicum or have become the Emily friends we are. We're cute. My senior practicum, very negative experience, let me tell you. Awful staff and first grade team. The only positive thing that I learned is that I am a teacher for the kids. I'm not there for the staff. Rumors, gossip, and drama all semester long. My mentor teacher was so cold towards me and hardly a mentor at all. She put me down and didn't cheer me on. Teachers less mature than their own students. Peers more like mean girls in high school. I will never understand meanness, but I stayed strong, I stayed me, I stayed nice, I showed up. I almost, to be honest, dropped the class at the beginning of the semester. This was before the meanness and the awkwardness with the staff. But I came back after I missed a day, and I first told my professor and mentor teacher that I may need to drop the class strictly because of my health and anxiety. When I came back, the staff was so cold towards me. My mistake for nearly leaving that way, but it's on them to be mean like that. There is no excuse for meanness. While it was my worst semester and most negative school experience, I came out of it knowing that I will never be mean like that. My senior practicum retake. A giant step up from the previous course, let me tell you. My mentor teacher, one of the kindest, most genuine, inspiring people I've ever met and one of the most beautiful people I've met in my whole life. If I passed senior practicum in the spring, I wouldn't have been able to retake it with her. We learned so much from each other. My professor warned us that a mentor teacher is not your friend, they're your mentor, so be professional, keep things professional and light. But I would call her a friend. We had lots of laughs and lots of good talks. I converted her to the Costco Chick-fil-A knockoff nuggets. She's a big book nerd, and I am happy to report that she approves, even loves, my 2 books. I gave her copies of each. I'm so glad that I agreed to retake this class with my professor. The outcome was so positive when I originally thought it would be an awful thing to retake. I was able to end school strong and on such a high note. Thanks to my mentor teacher. Thank you, Christy Wood. P.S. My adorable friend, Christy White. I recommended her go to your store simply because you guys have the same name. Haha. Then she told me that she already had, simply because you guys have the same name. Haha. See why me and her get along so well? Haha. Anyway, I adored this semester mainly and mostly because of Mrs. Wood. I cried not one tear but several, saying goodbye to those kids and her that day, my last day. It was the best school experience. Shout out to the students that I worked with during the senior practicum class. Oh my goodness, they were so amazing. It was the most amazing group of kids that I worked with, and I've worked with well over 100. I've worked with grades 1, 2, 3, and 8, and this group was just such a sweet group. The students were kind and polite and chill and just hilarious, not to mention so sweet. Miss Hayden, who would come up to me randomly to give me a hug and say a dramatic, "I love you." She is such a sweetheart with such a big smile. Miss Nathan, talking to me animatedly when he was supposed to do his work. He's such a funny kid, and he even called me his best friend. I'll miss the kids who would just randomly come up to me and tell me a story. Always way too long, always all over the place. Caitlin's were usually melancholy stories, and she would say it so matter of fact. All of the students loved to be helpful and help around the classroom and help me with things if I missed something in the routine, politely interjecting and explaining in the most cute way. I've gotten so many hugs this semester. Probably half of the hugs I've ever gotten throughout my life came from this semester alone. I love those kids. Cannot believe that I'm at this point in here right now. Can't believe today is the day. It's 12 noon right now, and in 1 hour, the ceremony begins. Daxton, are you so excited for me? I'm graduating today. Oh, and you've been such a good support. I'm gonna get my cap and gown all dirty. You so excited? Oh, I'm probably gonna throw up. I left you guys hanging. I left you at a cliffhanger, so just continuing on. I love those kids, and I can never forget any of them. Not one. I still pray for them all the time. Now, my Professor Bropa, his real name Professor Brother Benjamin Pacini, but someone started calling him Bropa forever ago, and it quickly became his actual name, his new name. Bropa can be serious, and he can be crazy hilarious. He's serious about his teaching and his students' experience and responsibilities, yet he is jovial, and he laughs and talks and jokes a lot, maybe too much sometimes. I had his class once before, but it was during COVID and it was an online experience. Then I took his senior practicum this year, technically twice, passing the coursework the first time. Then I retook the practicum portion alongside being his TA this semester, fall 2022. And so, I was very open with him where I was at in school and in life. One day he called me a, quote, runner. I run when things get hard, it's true. A runner in the emotional sense of the word. He was worried that I was running away from student teaching when I told him that I wasn't interested anymore. Then I told him that I'm also a runner in real life. And to be continued. Sorry.
Emily K. McAllister, Bachelor of Science, Professional Studies.
Jackie Standing, Bachelor's of Science in Professional Studies.
Denise Huff Mullins, Bachelor, University Studies.
Brianna Faith Hendricks, Associates of Science in General Studies.
Emily K. McAllister, Bachelor of Science, Professional Studies.
Jackie Standing, Bachelor's of Science in Professional Studies. Cami Walker, Bachelor's of...
Now, where was I? I wasn't interested in teaching anymore, right? Yeah. Then I told him that I also run in real life. I told him that I got exercise-induced asthma after my coach had me spontaneously run a sprint race at a track meet when I ran in high school. I do distance. I wasn't prepared to run that fast. And so, it resulted in an asthma attack that I never had before. That's what student teaching would be like. I would most likely get worse. I know myself well enough. It's a sprint my health just can't handle. I already really pushed myself with school. He was understanding and he said that he would support me no matter what I decided. He said he had my back, no questions. That's a true person. I will forever be appreciative for Bropaw. It's no wonder he's one of my favorites at BYU Idaho, and his office door is always open with at least one student waiting in his desk chair, waiting for him to come to his office. Thank you times a million, Bropaw. If it weren't for your class, I wouldn't be at this point. My adventures in teaching in a classroom as a classroom teacher have been amazing. More than amazing. Stressful, but awesome. There were the poopy days in the classroom. While there were those days and times during my time in classrooms, there were way more good times. I've never gotten so many hugs as I have in the last year since I started to teach in schools. Even from the kids who would act out in class and show challenging behavior. I'm thinking that I'll make some kind of elementary ed scrapbook or album where I can fill it up with all the drawings and pictures and craftsy cutesy things from all the kids. These kids touched and blessed my life, just as I was able to inspire them. Teaching truly is a noble profession. It's hard and it doesn't get the praise that it deserves. The good and best teachers deserve that. To be heard, to be noticed. I wonder what would have happened if I had decided to be a full-time certified traditional classroom teacher. Would students ever come back to see me? After I graduated from high school, I went back to see two of my favorite high school teachers who saved my life when I was first diagnosed with depression in my junior year. Teachers are some of the best people I've ever had the great privilege of being able to meet and know. Many of my college professors have been such a light to me as well. God bless them all. I may not be a traditional classroom teacher where I fully manage all classroom responsibilities, but I do hope to have my name be among the greats, and I'll try. It's almost funny, but really anything but. I'm graduating from the very thing that caused me to go psychotic and go without sleep for 10 days straight, and if you don't know the story, and no one can ever truly fully know the story because you're not me and this nightmare never even happened to you, but I'll tell you some of my story now. I had insomnia for most of my life, but it was nothing compared to when I went psychotic at one point due to lack of sleep. 10 days straight kind of lack of sleep. Due to anxiety and being away from home for the first time, college, I didn't sleep for 10 days straight and I went psychotic because of it. It took months, several months, to recover from the psychosis completely. Many people can't remember the things that happened both in the physical world and in their minds when they were in that state of mind. I remember too many flashbacks of that time in my life. It was awful. Hell. The scariest thing that's ever happened to me, and I can think of a few other experiences that just can't even compare. This did happen like 5 years ago, but I still remember everything, and now here I am, no longer in a life of insomnia, and I'm graduated, me. It just seems crazy, really. I'm graduating from the very thing that made me go crazy, literally, and that's college. My family moved here, partly so that I can go to school while being at home. This greatly helped me with my anxiety and with my performance in school. I am forever in debt to my parents for their kindness in supporting me. I don't know where I'd be if the story weren't this story. What if I didn't have parents that helped me cope with these psychosis during that time? What if I didn't have parents that helped me through school in this way? I don't know where I'd be right now, in this very moment, like right now, like today. But instead of a worst case scenario, I found myself graduated and on to what's next. That was a really personal part of my life I just shared, something that not a lot of people know. But you guys have access to my story, I guess. And I have to say, psychosis has a terrible, terrible view to it. And they hear the word psychotic, everyone does, I feel like, and they think of violence and danger, but that's just not what it was like for me in my case. It was just a scary time, lots of fear in my mind. Sharing that story, that part of my life, a really dark part, see, I'm a pretty open person, and I think that telling stories helps both the speaker and the writer as well as the one on the other end, the one that hears, the one that reads. That's why I love to write and why I love to talk. I have dreamed about this day for years, since the first grade? Graduating today is one big step to where I can make my dreams come true, finally. And I can't wait for what's next, and I love the possibilities, experiences, opportunities, and positivity my future will bring to me. I don't know all the details and plans in my future, and there's a big question mark floating around in my head. I have some ideas as to what I'll do and how my life will look for the next bit, but it's not set in stone, and I'm determined to just calm the freak down and go with the flow. Something that I'm trying to teach myself to do. I found being a teacher comes more easily to me than it is to try and teach myself how to calm down and just enjoy life. This is a great time for me to work on me. I need to be my own best friend, especially at this crucial time in my life. Crucial because I need to take care of myself and be kind to myself for having survived school. I need to breathe again. It's been a long race, a marathon. It felt like an endless race at times. There were storm clouds over me during some parts. My asthma would flare up, and at times I just couldn't breathe. My pace was all over the place, sometimes smooth and other times inconsistent. But I reached the end. Now I'm training to start another race, and this one's different, very. This one is going to be more intense. It's going to be longer. I haven't used my inhaler for a long time now, like years. I even went as far as to throw it away. But I don't need it. I can get my breathing under control. I can get my pace even. It's okay if I slow down, if I have to. Sometimes I'll need to look down at my feet to make sure that I'm still there, that I'm alive. And other times my eyes will be on ahead, on the future, on what's coming in my path next. A coach in high school told me that I have a sloppy form, but when I ran at the indoor campus track one day, this was a while ago, an older man on the track came up to me when I was cooling down and said that I'm amazing and that I look as if I'm flying. That's what I want my run to be for the rest of my life. I don't want to run, I want to fly. I got my breathing down to where I only need to catch my breath for just a moment once I stop my run. I notice that my breathing is light and flowing quietly while I am in the act of my run. I want to live life as a quiet athlete. I don't need to get first place. I know I won't get in last. I'll just run, as if no one is there. I run for me and for no one else. I know I won't get a trophy and I don't care. I'm doing it for those endorphins and that high. I'm doing it because it just makes me happy, and life does too. Even though both those things can make me cry and hurt. Anyway, running metaphor complete. Haha. I just really love to run. Whew, now that's all off my chest. Do you think I should have done a speech at my graduation? Huh? That chance you would see me up there talking in front of everyone. It was hard enough to breathe right and not trip across that stupid stage. But, I'm proud of me. I did it. Me. There was stress along the way, and most of it was stress, honestly. But I did it. Me. And I can put it behind me, a challenge that I won. There will be more challenges, many more. That's a real fact and honest truth. But I'm ready to win them all. And I will. I just wanted to show this cute little scene. I love Christmas time and lights, and this just makes me so happy. This was the night before graduation when I ran at the track, and I stalled. I really admired the grounds, and I didn't get a snap of it or anything, but I noticed how beautiful it was. Just me seeing the door open to the place where I was going to meet with all of the graduates. It was crazy cool. Like, it was just really surreal to see the before the big day. And it was empty and quiet in there, and it was just a big, loud wow. It's real. That was so cool. Oh, so good to be home and out of those clothes. It was a good time and a really, really good day. It was just a long day and a lot of people, and I think I hid my anxiety pretty well considering. Did not trip. Important update. It was almost fun. Almost. Gonna decorate my cap at a later date. I was thinking the same day, but there's no way in hello that I'm gonna do any more than I already have. This is exciting. Look what we have here, that beautiful font. And then we also have a cute little pen, cute little note. And yeah, the rest of my night is gonna be, I don't know what. Nothing. That sounds good to me. Let's do it. Sound effects of random excitement. Yay. Okay. And I know, I'm back to talking, but I just wanted to share one thought. My mom got a lot of notes at my graduation ceremonies, both of them. And the one that I love the most is that I'm to be a light, that I'm to bless and help, and to be good to everybody around me, and to help them, serve them, be their friend, just be a light to everybody around me. And my very most favorite, I have to say, the best quote is to add your gifts to everyone around you. And I just think that's really, really inspirational. And I love that thought. And that's a big goal of mine. And that's my graduation.